We just traveled 3,000 miles to this Yosemite National Park. Basically, the celebrity of US national parks. Think giant granite cliffs, waterfalls that look fake, and famous viewpoints that you've probably seen on your screensaver without even realizing. But turns out, thousands of other people had the exact same idea as us. So we barely snagged 2 nights at this less desirable campsite. So now we kind of have the choice between a slightly more level campground and a generator, or a not level at all campground. Which means we only have one opportunity to have the best day ever in Yosemite. So we're talking sunrise, an epic hike. No freaking way. Famous viewpoints, sunset, and after all of that, if we've got any energy left in us, a cozy van camp night. So if everything goes to plan, we are about to have the best day ever in Yosemite. But if it doesn't, well, 3,000 miles was a long way to have traveled.
Good afternoon. How's it going? You okay?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Waiting for you.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Thanks, Joseph. Have a good one. Cheers.
This is our campsite for the next 2 nights, and let me tell you, we were lucky to get it. Pretty much every single campsite was fully booked, but it is kind of our fault because we generally plan our travels pretty last minute, and it turns out Yosemite is not a last minute experience. But we've got this one for the next 2 nights, so we have to make the most of it. The campground we are staying in here is the Hodgson Meadows campground, and it's not the perfect place to stay in Yosemite. We're still about a 45-minute drive from Curry Village, I think it's called, which is in the Yosemite Valley, and which is where our hike tomorrow is going to start, and where most of the hikes are going to start from. So not ideal, but it was pretty much the closest we could get on the short notice that we had. And like I said, everything was so booked out, we were lucky to get what we did. So there's no cell reception in Yosemite. So Max is map planning our day tomorrow.
Big hike.
So we've been here for about 2 hours, and now that we're actually really getting comfortable, we realize how uneven this ground was. So we went and asked the lady at the reception, and she very kindly offered us another spot just for 1 night, even though we're here for 2 nights. And she say, we'll see for tomorrow. But we're moving spot for this 1 night, thankfully, to this lady.
Honestly, I don't know, this one is much better. Still looks, oh yeah, oh that looks a bit better. Oh, sorry, keep coming back. Maybe stop there. Does that feel level in there?
No, definitely more level.
Because we are starting so early tomorrow morning to make the most of our wonderful day that we have here in Yosemite, I am going to be preparing our breakfast so we can kind of eat it on the go and not have to worry about that at 4 a.m., which is when we plan on driving into the valley. It's a 45-minute drive from here, so that's why we're leaving so early. Max is also going to prepare our lunch for tomorrow, so we can be super organized. And then it's dinner time, and we're thinking for breakfast, overnight oats. Yummy. Anyone who doesn't mash banana in their oats is seriously missing out. It adds so much flavor and sweetness without adding much unhealthy things. We were in van life.
Bon Yosemite.
That came way too quickly. It's 4 4:17. But if I want to get that sunrise, I gotta go now. Alrighty. Good morning.
Good morning. So excited.
Are you?
Yeah, we're tired though.
We're gonna swap drivers so that Max can also eat breakfast.
We're just freaks of timing. Like we're swapping time. We start swapping drivers so I can have my breakfast so we don't waste time. Like oh my gosh, we're just too anal.
We may be a little too organized. So immediately, we've been from curveballs because the car park that we were planning to start at, which is where our trail is, I guess it's shut and it hasn't opened for the season yet because the road was blocked, but it's not too much further. We found a car park. The sun is starting to rise and we're getting our first views of Yosemite. Wow. It looks incredible. The rock faces here, the cliffs. As we were driving in before the sun even rose, we could see waterfalls coming down in the dark. Wow. I'm so excited for today.
So today's hike is actually not a very specific hike. I've combined a few different hikes on all trails, put them all in my Garmin watch, and instead of hiking it like normal people would do, we're gonna run it because Jack and I are training for an event which is taking place in 2 months and we needed to be a lot more fit than we currently are right now. So this hike will now be turned into a trail run. It is going to be 20-50 kilometers and 1,500 meters long, and hopefully the views are not too distracting. Who needs a running vest?
We do. Oh god. Oh, 23 kilometers, wish me luck. Actually, 23 kilometers I could do. It's more the elevation gain that scares me. Starting off what is detailed as a hard, strenuous, steep hike on all trails. Already walking. It is very steep right now. Wow. This will be my view of Max all day. First waterfall!
We are approaching our first waterfall and I think things are about to get pretty wet, which will be already quite refreshing because even though the sun's not up, it is already hot.
Whoa, this is steep, but the view is, oh my god, wow.
Oh, it is wet here! Oh my god! Oh my god! Woo! Dang! This is super wet! Come on, Jackie!
Ascended almost 400 meters in like 2.5 kilometers. That was insanely steep. Waterfall number 2, and it's not even 7 a.m. yet. Absolutely insane, and this view, wow. Unfortunately, our first failure of the day. We didn't catch the sunrise. It literally just crested over that mountain. Oh, we are like maybe 5-10 minutes late.
First checkpoint, 5 kilometers so far. 56 minutes, so very slow, but this was the biggest climb of the day in a sense, because after that we're still climbing, but we just like undulating up. This was one of the biggest climb of the day, so big up for that, so really good.
We'll see how the rest of our trail run goes. That was definitely more of a climb. I think you've planned a pretty good hike.
Oh my god. Oh, that is scary.
Freaky!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Holy moly! Whoa! Don't believe that loudness! Oh my god, I'm scared to look. Look at this water!
That is like, that's nature.
That is wild!
No freaking way. Why? Yeah, so something's up. There's a detour.
We knew it was closed,
Okay,
so we can go straight.
but not here. It's a different way.
Is open,
Yeah.
which is our trail. Panorama Trail is our trail.
Okay, so I guess because we are actually here at the very beginning of hiking season, just a couple of months ago, everything was covered in snow, and a lot of these trails only just open now that the snow has melted. But also some of them are not yet open. Now we're not even sure if we can do the hike we had planned, because there's a sign right here saying that if you continue on to Glacier Point, the 4-mile trail is closed and you have to do a 10-mile trail and then 10 miles back out, which is 20 miles. That's a lot more than what we had planned today. And we're just kind of trying to figure out if we can keep going or if the day is ending here.
Oh, such a letdown. I was so excited for this. It's absolutely beautiful, Brett. That's what I'm
Actually, that hike that we've just done it's definitely in our top 5 best ever hikes. So the new plan, now that our most epic hike ever has been cancelled, is we're going to continue along the trail that we were on, and it actually takes you to the Half Dome, which is, apart from El Capitan, probably the most famous site here in Yosemite. So El Capitan, if you don't know, is that sheer rock face that's super tall, and you've probably seen it or heard about it from people climbing it. There's a really famous documentary called Free Solo. Definitely watch that because it's great. But Half Dome is one that pretty much anyone can do because they have cables going up there. At the moment it's closed, it's not open this season yet, but we're just gonna hike the trail and kind of get a closer look at it. And then we're gonna have to go back down the way we came, unfortunately. I'm not even disappointed because honestly, that hike was so epic. And when we get back down, we'll definitely be finding somewhere else to go check out some more amazing viewpoints here in Yosemite. So, best day ever in Yosemite is still going strong. Not an easy trail to run.
That was hard, eh?
It's just so rocky. You really got to be careful where you're putting your feet. My pace was really slow.
So unfortunately the planned hike didn't turn out as we'd planned. Nevertheless, with all the extra bits we did, we think we did about close to a half, if not a half marathon. And yeah, it was absolutely spectacular. It's not even 11 o'clock, we're back for a little coffee. But after that we'll just carry on exploring the park in a much more relaxing way. For now, earn that reward. Wow. We're seeing the park now with daylight, which we obviously did not see at all early on, and the views are just like those waterfall gargantuous. They are enormous. Jackie, look at that. After a good breakfast, a good rest, about an hour in the van, we are surprisingly feeling pretty good. Our legs are still holding up for now, and we haven't gotten tired just yet. So we're gonna make the most of that momentum, explore a little bit, and see what we can do without going for a strenuous hike. But something that Jacqueline and I were mentioning whilst having breakfast is we're very glad that we had connections up there, because this whole shenanigan of trail clothes, etc., we wouldn't have been able to see where to go if we didn't have a connection. And that's thanks to today's sponsor, very grateful for it, Air Allo. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Air Allo, they are the biggest eSIM provider in the world, providing connection in over 200 destinations all over the world. The best part is, they actually have a little cheeky discount with us. If you use the code Max and Jack 3, you will get $3 off. That's full $3 off your first eSIM purchase. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with an eSIM, it's a very simple principle of having a SIM card digitally. Because when you're road tripping, having a connection is imperative, as you saw. And when you're road tripping, you also need to check the maps, the gas station, the campgrounds, the trail maps, the weather, etc. So before this trip, we simply opened the app, picked our destination, installed the eSIM while still on Wi-Fi, and the moment landed in the States, or in our case in San Francisco, we were connected. So if you've got travel coming up, whether it's a city break, a road trip, or somewhere completely off grid like this, download the Air Allo app and use our code MAXandJack3 for $3 off for your first data plan. Or just scan that QR code right there and that will take you straight to that page. Now we're gonna go explore Curry Village and the rest of the park.
So there's actually a free shuttle that goes around Yosemite, and because we already snagged such a good car park, we didn't want to bother having to drive everywhere and try and find parking again. So we just left our van where it was and we took the shuttle to Yosemite Village. But we really want to see Yosemite Falls, because if you guys don't know, Yosemite Falls is actually the 5th largest waterfall in the world. Sorry, not largest, tallest waterfall in the world.
Wow. Oh, first time we sing everyone.
Oh, look at that view. Absolutely incredible. So this is actually a little bit of a loop, and we started at the first part of the loop, which didn't have as good of views, but if you continue on the other way, then you get this view, which I think might be the best view of the waterfall.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So definitely make sure you continue on. But there is one more famous site here that we absolutely have to see in order for this to be the best day ever in Yosemite.
Dang.
I cannot explain how crazy it is that there is somebody they're almost to the top, but also they're still so far from the top. That's how tall this thing is. And you can barely even spot them. They just look like a shadow or a rock. And then the only reason you know that they're there is because they're slowly moving. Like that, you would not even spot them. They're invisible. That is so wild. El Capitan.
Yeah, I got my Mac background
Nice.
real now.
So we've ticked off the famous sites. We got, what's it called? Half Dome. We got Half Dome, and we got Yosemite Falls. We got both of the falls on Mist Trail, and now we've got an El Capitan. I think that definitely qualifies as the best day ever in Yosemite. Oh my gosh. The only thing that will wrap up today is a nice, cozy camp night. That was an absolutely massive day in Yosemite. Just a reminder that we woke up at 4 a.m. and we spent the entire day in the valley, hiking, seeing waterfalls, seeing El Capitan, doing everything. It was absolutely incredible. I would definitely consider it an epic hike. And turns out sun does not set until 8 p.m. So we've come back to our campsite and we're gonna have to just enjoy the sunset from here. The lighting at the campsite right now is beautiful. We've cleaned ourselves up and now it is time for our cozy camp night. So we'll tick most things off our list to make this the best day ever in Yosemite.
With perfect time to make a fire, and Jacqueline actually bought marshmallows and we got sausage. So we're gonna have the best possible evening to recover from today's grueling but beautiful hikes. First, we gotta make that fire. Jacqueline had the good idea to get a few pine cones to get the fire going. Let's see if all of this lights up. Try it.
My man can light a fire. Can yours? We just spotted a deer. It's just in the valley right next to our campsite.
Who gives an odd number of sausages?
I think they always come in odd numbers.
It's ridiculous. Asking for a fight.
Look how perfect. Fire, sausages,
Deer.
deer,
Man. In the woods.
men.
A man in the woods.
Oh. And then we have marshmallows for dessert. I'm so excited. This is for me personally my perfect day. Like a nice exhausting day physically out in nature, cooking with the campfire and relaxing and just enjoying the beautiful weather. It's honestly perfect for me. And this is basically an Australian staple. If you're having a barbecue with family, you can buy them on the beach. We have them at our hardware chain store. They have sausage sizzles to raise money for charity. But yeah, sausage stinger. Perfect camp meal.
Hey, you gotta wait.
Also wait. Oh.
Oops.
I like it when it burns so good.
Yeah.
It goes crunchy.
That is a perfect crunch.
Sounded crunchy.
That was a perfect one.
There is something so satisfying about toasting marshmallows over a fire. It's so fun. I don't want mine to be on fire yet. I need it more melty.
Oh no!
Oh, that's what you get. You overcooked it. It's okay, have another.
Oh, tragedy.
Good morning. Yesterday was such an amazing day in Yosemite, and even though it was our only full day, we still have this morning that we can go back in and see a few more things. We really want to go up to Glacier Point. There's a tunnel tree, one of those giant sequoias, I think they're called, that they have here in California that the stagecoach used to go through, which is just incredible. So there's a few more things we're going to quickly check out this morning. But even without having this extra time, I think that yesterday was definitely the best day ever in Yosemite. I truly could not have asked for anything more. It was incredible. I had an amazing day. And after all of that, traveling 3,000 miles to get here, or even further if you consider how far we traveled from Europe to America, it has still blown me away, and I'm so glad we made it. But the real lesson is just to go out and have an adventure. You don't have to travel 3,000 miles to have an amazing time. There's probably so many beautiful places right near where you live. So yeah, Best day ever in Yosemite accomplished.